This commenter actually asked what specifically, in response to my video where I talked about the forbidden literature I read to learn that my church was not true. And there were 3 things that I read last summer. The first was a letter to my wife. The second was the church's own gospel topics essays. And the third was the CES letter. I spent 3 days doing little other than reading, studying these resources, and at the end of all of it, I thought, I've been lied to. I didn't know, for example, that Joseph Smith looked at a rock in a hat to translate the Book of Mormon. I'd always been taught when I was little that he read from these golden plates. Oh no, in all of these resources, I learned that he read from a rock in a hat. He didn't read, he just made things up. And this was the same rock that he used to try to find treasure and to dupe people into believing that he could do that. I was 45 years old and I learned these things for the first time. And I was a stalwart member of the Mormon Church. In these resources, I learned about how Joseph Smith had plural wives. I didn't know he was a polygamist. I knew Brigham Young was, but I didn't know Joseph Smith was. Again, learning this for the first time at 45. I learned about the Book of Abraham, how Joseph Smith had taken this papyri and translated it where Egyptian scholars say it was totally bogus. I learned about the Kinderhook plates, where some people in Joseph Smith's day created this fake set of plates and Joseph Smith translated it by the power of God. I learned about the temple's ties to masonry for the first time. I learned all of these things because I had been told that this type of literature, the type of literature that taught the truth, was forbidden. It was viewed as anti-Mormon literature because it would lead people to the truth where they would leave the church. Of course it's anti-Mormon because Mormonism is a lie. Church members sing how firm a foundation. They pride themselves on having this rock of a foundation. Or in fact, it's not. Church leaders want you to believe it is, but it's like a garbage. It's rotted to the core. So are ex-Mormons angry about it? Yeah. Why wouldn't you be? You've been lied to your whole life. I'm going to continue to talk about this because I think it's important. I think people need to hear. I think people need to understand what is true and what is not. Because it feels awful to be deceived like that.